Welcome back to Altenberg in Saxony as we get ready for the first World Cup mixed team skeleton race of the season. Now this is a format that's sort of come and gone over the last few years, but is now in its current lineup an Olympic discipline from Milano Cortina 2026. So we have one male, one female slider. They go female first, then the male athlete, team by team, in their overall ranking of World Cup standings. So as ever, the challenge in Altenberg is not only to be fast, but to be clean, because there are tripwires lurking everywhere. Relatively short, fairly flat start. So sprinters rather than endurance runners. Down into turn one, named after track manager Matthias Benesch, who rolled a bobsleigh there, even though nobody thought it was possible. Into corner two, corner three, the luge starts coming in, and then corner four, this is called Omega, due to its shape, and it's absolutely critical, sets you up for 5 and 6, and then corner 7 and 8 and 9. Corner 9 here, named after the great local driver Harold Chudai, onto the long straight down to the Kreisel. Kreisel, 3 pressures, there's second, here's the third, drive off at the red flag, and down into the lower labyrinth. 11, 12, corner 13, and then corner 14. Again, key to speed in the final few hundred meters. Uphill into 15, and then 16 leads into 17, and across the finish line there without hitting the wall, if you don't mind, and the deceleration run uphill. So the total time for both sliders determines each team's position, and they are started by a traffic light system. So any movement before the green light comes on will be penalised. So you have a countdown of red lights, then an indeterminate pause before the green. If you go within 0.05 of a second of the green lights changing, it is determined that you have jumped the start, for which time penalties are punitive. So it's actually better to be a little delayed at the start than it is a little ahead of yourself, as in so many sports. So in the nice slushy car park, the athletes warming up, that is going to be absolutely sheet ice by tomorrow morning. Looking like it's going to be below 0 overnight. Quite a lot of snow this morning. It was a real, almost a blizzard before the women's race, which was the first heat of which was cancelled. It was a one-heat race for the women and a brand new winner, a 4th different winner of the season. We had the same winner in the men's race as we've had in the previous 3. So here are our teams. Spain, the first of our 2 US teams, and then running down through the field, down to 1 Austrian team. Austria 2 team will not start, and the final team, Christopher Grotheer and Suzanne Freya, was due to be Hannah Neiser, but there have been quite a few changes around. No changes though in the Spanish team. So here we go, here's the format. Ana Torres Quevedo goes first, Adrian Fernando Rodriguez goes second. It is not a relay, i.e. you don't hand on a baton or touch something. Each athlete will go in turn, but as soon as the track is clear, the time lights, or the starting lights, will begin. So here we go.
Ready?
So the athlete signals they are ready. 5 red lights count down. There should be an audible with that, and there should have been a green light as it was before, but you heard the bing, which was the time to go. So 1300ths of a second, that's not a bad reaction time. Not the fastest, but it's not a bad reaction time at all. So now, whoa, and a little bit wild. Track will be very different from how it was when she was on it this morning, because it's much colder, it's not snowy, and look at it, these high sheen. They have re-prepped the track, they've spritzed the ice. And for all the fact that this is a bit of an intimidating track, the one thing that everybody is very much agreed of here in Altenberg is that Ralph Mender and his ice crew produce fabulous ice. It's fast, it's hard, it's smooth. And that's hard to do when you're laying ice on a downhill surface. Because what does water do? It runs downhill. Well, this is very wild from Anna. Really quite a painful run. not for us watching it, but for her hitting everything on the way down. And a 67.23 slide. Now, some pairings will have a female slider who's better respective to the other female sliders, or a male slider who's better respective to the other male sliders. And so sometimes you'll see a team to vault forward or drop back with their first slider, only to drop back or recover with their second. And it is the cumulative time of the two teams that will be shown as the leaders' time. So Spain will lead. Spain do lead now, but they will lead after Eugenio Rodriguez has gone down. So these two slid together in the World Championships in the race in Winterberg. They finished 18th for Spain. And they finished in 15th place here in a race, team race in February of this year. Again, best speed for Eugenio Rodriguez. That's because A, he's faster than Ana Torres Quevedo, and B, they are the first team down. So those speeds may be beaten. This is not looking like a bad run at all. Again, ice conditions a little more similar to how they were in the men's race. When did he go off? 4 hours ago. Still a lot quicker, I think, and less grip. So you're having to try to adjust your sled to suit what you think conditions are going to require. Of course, once you're on the sled, you find out how right or otherwise you were. So coming to the line, and the total time for the team, 2 minutes 8.86. And that's the key there. It's not whether Anna is quicker than any of the other female sliders or whether Eugenio is quicker than any of the other male sliders. It's the total time for both runs, start to finish. And that, of course, the clock starts the moment you get that audible sound at the start. So if you stand there looking a bit perplexed for 2 or 3 seconds, then you've lost 2 or 3 seconds. If you lose a couple of hundreds, you lose a couple of hundreds. That's not so much of a drama. Not too bad out of 14.
Vamos, España.
There's Timo in the background from Swiss Timing, the man who's responsible's a loose word, I say, for making sure that all the team's transponders work. And in the skeleton sleds, they have to have a special motion sensor. So Team USA 2, Kelly Curtis, Hunter Williams. First time that these two have raced in a team's competition. Kelly, of course, wasn't racing at all last year because she became a mum last November. So on tour with her baby daughter. So first time using those start lights for her. So at the moment she's in the green, which means that she leads the time set by Ana Torres Quevedo, because obviously, as the female slider, that doesn't compute with 2 sliders in the Spanish team. But the moment that Hunter Williams takes to the ice, then it will be the cumulative time that is being shown. Second fastest speed, whoa, big oscillations. Again, very, very different track from the one that the women were on this morning. Goes in the same direction, but I'm guessing really quite a lot faster. Of course, their starts aren't quite as quick either because they have to react to the start rather than dictate their own start. 1:03.54 for Kelly. So that's her individual run time. Actually, that's not probably that far off. It says, checks notes. Kelly Curtis, 1:02.31. So, given that they're not choosing their own start time and they're reacting to it rather than going when they want to, not bad. A very short change of lights there. It's not always that short. So you have to be absolutely on a hair trigger and ready to go. Better speed from Hunter Williams than from Agen Rodriguez. So the start was good. 1900ths of a second the reaction time. So both American athletes using these lights for the very first time, just being a little cautious about over-anticipating. And we're talking the blink of a human eye difference between a really quick and an okay reaction time. Nice oscillations in the Kreisel, good exit, nice through the transition. Better speed than we saw from Rodriguez for Spain. Little clip there from 14, but 4.1 seconds up. So the USA would go into the leader's box across the line, 2:04.55. Woohoo! Says Kelly Curtis. And so a 1:01.01. I didn't make that up, that's a genuine time. 1:01.01 for Hunter Williams. And a 1:03.54 gives us a 2:04.55. So first time ever in the team competition for Kelly Curtis and Hunter Williams. There's Kelly with a massive oversteer early on, trying to hold that height and the first pressure in the Kreisel. And this Hunter's reaction. Okay, good grief, look at the quads. There you go, your leaders, USA. See, different bibs, we don't have a number on them. It's all about a national team. Whereas in an individual race, it's exactly that. It's just you. And your first job is to beat your teammates. So for Switzerland, Julia Simchen. Now this is her home track. Born and bred here in Saxony. 1800ths of a second, pretty decent reaction time. Kelly Curtis was a 0.25, but didn't get away as quick as Curtis. So she's in the red at the moment now. Her teammate, Livio Summermatter, may be quicker than Hunter Williams. And whether or not the Swiss take the lead after that run will depend on what the deficit is here between Julia and Kelly Curtis, because of course that gap, if Julia is 6, 7 tenths slower or 100 slower, that's what you have to make up in the second part of the competition as the male slider. Now she's tied with Kelly Curtis, coming back from behind, undoing that slower start, Julia Simchen. And across the line with a 2300ths of a second advantage. So that immediately gives Livio Summermatter nearly a quarter of a second of leeway. So 1:03.31 for Julia Simchen.
Rausgefahren für ihren Landsmann, für Livio Summermatter, der jetzt gleich dran ist.
You can hear our track announcer, former German Olympic weightlifter Mark Huster. I was saying in the men's competition, he must have been commentating here at the track for 6, 8, 10 years. 20 years, apparently. He really is that old. Cosmetic surgery is a wonderful thing. So the reaction time, pretty decent. 1500ths of a second for Livio Summermatter. Livio and Julia Simchen raced here in the race in February. The World Cup, they finished 13th. They were 15th in the World Championships in Winterberg. So this is their third race together as a team. 2400s up. So this is a good run. Now, don't forget, Julia handed him a 2300ths of a second advantage. Third best speed among the men, Livio Summermatter. So the gap is coming down. Only 1100ths up, and that's not on his run. That is cumulative time for both sliders. So Julia's 2300ths advantage is now down to 700ths. Livio Summermatter not going as well here as Hunter Williams. Too much height, hits the wall. Oh, 1800ths back. So 2:04.73 is the cumulative time. They slip into second place. The US stay in the leaders box. And a 1:01.42, he was 3,100 slower than Hunter Williams. Looks like he's clattered his ankle somewhere. Hopping to try and stand up. Well, not a bad looking run through the Kreisel. No major dramas there. And there's the reaction time. Go on, get out of it and stay out. Our next team is what now is our only Austrian team. So we've got Anna Zauliter and Sami Meyer. Now, it was going to be Anna Zauliter and Alexander Schlindner, and Sami Meyer was going to be going as Austria 1 with Janine Flock, but Janine is not fit to race this evening. So Sami has transferred to race with Anna Zauliter. So Anna's first time with the reaction start, first time in the team race. 9.52 getaway, 1800ths of a second reaction time, so the RT was pretty decent. She's lacking a bit of speed away from the lights compared to Kelly Curtis. Nice clean run down the straight. Just see her moving ahead to get the balance of the sled she wants. Only the 6th best speed, though, through the Kreisel. Now up to the best. So, how close is she going to be? Oh, it was going well till 14. To be behind the US by just 500ths of a second. That's a really good run from Anna Zauliter. Kelly Curtis on the right. And Hunter Williams on the left-hand side. Just a quick shout, by the way, to Hunter Church, who announced in the last 24 hours that he has finally hung up his helmet. So, with a young family and a job as a firefighter, among other things to consider, we'll not be seeing Hunter Church competing officially any longer. I'm guessing he might be a forerunner or possibly commentating in the World Championships in Lake Placid. Away we go then with Sami Meyer. Had a good day in the men's competition. Another top 10 run. 1500ths. The reaction time at 1300ths. Started 8:24. This is going to be tight, isn't it? I was almost level pegging between Anna Zauliter and Kelly Curtis, and it is very close indeed between Sami Meyer and Hunter Williams. That's really good for Hunter Williams, actually. Even if Sami accelerates away here, he's got a decade more experience on this track than Hunter does. So Anna Zauliter at the top. The Austrians are going to take the lead here. Good run, 2:03.78. So the first run in the threes. It's a full second quicker than the Swiss. And a quarter of a second faster than the US. So Sami's run, 1 second and 1900ths. 60.19 seconds. So Anna Zauliter, Sami Meyer, the leaders. I think it's hard to understate how difficult it is when you've not been trained to start as the gun goes off, When all of your life has been, I go when I'm ready to go and when I want to go, that can be a bit difficult. Hey, Kurt Tomasevich, glad to have you with us. I'll catch up with that in a moment as we get to Switzerland's second team, Sarah Schmidt and Vincenz Buff. At the moment, it's Austria, USA, Switzerland 2. So, Sarah Schmidt and Vincenz Buff, this is their second race together. They finished 12th here in February 2024 in the World Cup race, and then finished in 16th in the World Championships in Winterberg. 6th best speed, 0.19 reaction time for Sarah, so again, that's pretty much par for the course. Not exceptionally fast, but not dreadfully slow. 8 tenths up on Anna Zaulita. The two young sliders. 9 tenths up for Sarah Schmidt. This is a really good run. Let's see what the Kreisel's got for her at the exit. Ooh, a little high and left maybe. 4th best speed. They are only the 5th team down, so she's going to lose some of that advantage. Ooh, and ping balls around as well out of 14. Pin balls, not ping balls. Across the line, 97 hundredths up. That's a big run. So a 103.59 for Anna Zaulita and a 102.62 for Sarah Schmidt. 97 hundredths faster. USA's Kurt Tomasevich just sending me a message saying that Hunter Church may well be coaching later this year, helping coach the North America's team in Whistler. So getting time off work and off babysitting duties, obviously. So Vincenz Buff, again, really good run in the men's singles. Almost an all-time World Cup PB here. See the way when the audible happens, he rocks back a little and then gets forward. It's hard not to. 0.28. It's about the slowest reaction time we have seen, but he's got a decent start. And boy, this kid can slide. 5th best speed. But they are in the green by a very handy margin after Sarah Schmidt's run. But that 97 hundredths is down to 37 hundredths. So that shows how good Sammy Meyer was. 31 hundredths, 2nd best speed. Good Kreisel so far. The exit is spot on. 2nd best speed, down to 17 hundredths. Sammy Meyer's 60.19 is going to be hard. 9 hundredths in it. It's going to be nip and tuck with the Swiss and the Austrians. And who's got it at the line? It's Austria. It's a dead heat. Now, honours even, I think. All right, so the leader box now has 4 in. Anna Zaulita and Sarah Schmidt there.
Exactly the same time like Team Austria won.
Leaping up and down. Well, that's a good run. Didn't get the lead, didn't lose the lead, is in the lead. So honours even, I think, there. .16 for Vincenz Buff, 60.19 for Sammy Meyer. So Sammy Meyer was the exact time to the 100th quicker than Vincenz Buff, compared to Sarah Schmidt being quicker than Anna Zaulita. Now the Czech Republic. Okay, so they're just going to make up the numbers. You think? No, because Anna Fernstadt and Timon Drahanovsky got the silver medal in the World Cup race here in February. So these two are definitely to be watched. Now, they finished 17th in the World Championships. Nevertheless, Anna knows this track well. She grew up sliding here, and especially in Königssee and in Winterberg, because she was a product of the German program. 27 hundredths the reaction time, so probably gave away a 10th compared to the very fastest. Nice run out of the Kreisel. Look at this, what a great run. Now, she's only had 1 trip down the track today, because don't forget, the women's race was a single heat race. Second best speed. Good looking run. 1.3 seconds ahead of our joint leaders. Don't know how that works. That'll be ahead of the time of Anna Zaulita. Although it actually should be compared to the time of Sarah Schmidt, who was quicker, wasn't she, by 97? So 1.19, let's say. Tenths ahead of Anna Zaulita. Sarah Schmidt came down 1.26. So Timon Drahanovsky. Now this will be the cumulative time, and it is the same, of course, for both our leaders, for Austria 1 and Switzerland 1. First World Cup weekend for Timon. He did not go to Asia. And their talismanic bobsleigh driver, Dominik Dvorak, in the background, helping out with, I'm guessing, with everything to do with the Czech sliding male and female teams, on 2 wheels and on 4, or skeleton and bobsleigh. In the green, 1.5 seconds up. .4 seconds up. 6th best speed at the Kreisel. Not too loopy. Good exit. With an elbow steer going on. 4th best speed. Coming together down at the bottom of the track. 99 hundredths up. So this should be the better part, 3/4 of a second in front. 2:03 dead is their cumulative time, so they take the lead by 78 hundredths from the Austrians and the Swiss.
Republic.
At a 1:01.20, so 0.6 of a second faster than Anna, and a 19 hundredths of a second RT. That's about as quick as we got. Sammy Meyer reacted in 13 hundredths. So Czech Republic lead after our first 6 sleds, 6 teams that is, as we get to the first of our 2 Italian duos. So this is Alessia Crippa and Mattia Gaspari. Mattia, World Championship bronze medalist in Altenberg 2020 with Valentina Margalio, the first mixed skeleton teams World Championships. Jane Channel and Dave Chesham, look at the long wait there. Still got a good reaction time, RT of 0.18, that's really good, especially given the long wait. The long hold for Alessia Crippa. She's got a quick start, 36 hundredths up compared to Anna Fernstedt. This is the direct comparison, her run against Anna's, the same as you'd see in a women's single run. Actually, Anna had a better day today than Alessia Crippa in the women's race. Fernstedt was first on ice. Finished in the top 10. Alessia Crippa just outside. Ooh, only the 10th best speed, looping in the Kreisel, skidding off it. 11-12. 13 and 14, clean exit. Head up a little. Looking for the line into 15, only 12 hundredths in front, behind now, at the line, how far back? 21 hundredths. So she lost 0.3 of a second to Anna Fernstedt from 15 to the line. Wow. 1:02.01 for Alessia Crippa. Alessia and Mattia Gaspari did race together in the World Championships. They finished in 11th place and they're 10th in the February race here. No, Mattia Gaspari was 10th in February, but that was with Alessandra Fumagalli, who is not racing today. But Mattia, with his only World Championship medal, a bronze from Altenberg 2020 in the teams competition. Oh, comes out of the groove, somehow saved that, but where's that going to leave him into turn one? Wow, I don't think Willi Schneider saw that. He had a good reaction time, 0.16 of a second. And the dart was an 8.43. $2,400s back. That first World Championship race, last day of almost, well, certainly for skeleton, last day of race before the pandemic. What a humdinger that was. It was absolutely thrilling. After a long while, it looked as though the Italians might win it, then the Canadians beat them. And then, as Mattia goes into the lead, eventually, of course, the Germans got the gold. Oh, 4/10 up, what a good run. Now, the teams are ranked, basically, they're rated, the starting order is rated basically by the combined World Cup standings of the two of them. So if one of you is the World Cup points leader and the one is 30th, then your total standing is 31st. But if one of you is second, the other one is third, then your total standing would be 5, and so you'd be a long way ahead in the starting order. Long old, there's Mattia Gaspari going away. You saw the way that it had its right-hand runner in the groove, the sled, and then it meandered, and he was so calm to get that left-hand groove in the sled, into the left-hand runner into the groove. Phew. Right, next up, Sarah Rogic and Austin Florian. Well, Sarah was 9th here in February with Dan Barefoot, and Austin Florian took a joint bronze medal with Katie Uhlaender. Sarah had a really good day today, I reckon, in the women's singles race. One heat wonder, and she didn't let that stress and pressure get to her. She had a really nice looking drive. Ooh, little skatey 4-5. 300s behind. Our current leaders are the Italians, so this is her versus Alessia Crippa. 1300s back. And then you're going to have, effectively, the battle of Austin Florian versus Mattia Gaspari, and whatever deficit there is at the line. That might make that very close as well. Here she comes, tied for the lead, but just as she was getting level, had a little tap on the wall. Across the line, 900s up. So that is the third fastest run. No, second fastest run down of the women. 101.80 is Anna Fernstedt's time. That's a 101.92. Sorry, I was interrupting her there. So Austin Florian with a lead. Seven teams remain after this. 7,900s up. And a really good reaction time, 1,600s of a second. Austin, bronze medalist here in February, and in the World Championships finished 5th with Mystique Rowe. So again, that was Mystique's first World Championship with the light starts. That was an excellent result as well. Austin very strong here again, top 6 finish in the men's race, 4th in the first heat. Second best speed now, 1.1 seconds up. They could live in the leader's box for a while. Whoa, just a little rough. Gonna take some of that speed away. What's he got left at the line? 1.04 seconds. Okay, so that is the first sub-6 second run, 59.64. So nearly a full second quicker than Mattia Gaspari, who did a 60.59. That's a 59.64. Sarah Rogic, so hard to tell what she's thinking, feeling. Well, little lumpy there, 4.56, and again out of 14, brushes the wall. That probably ends up costing 2/10 by the end of the run. China up, first of two Chinese teams now, with Liu Shi and Yin Cheng. They were 14th here together in February. But Li finished in 7th place in the World Championships. That was with Yan Wengang. Yan not in the World Cup squad for China. Well, certainly not in the first half of this season. Very short pause, 0.05 of a second reaction time. Ooh. Now, any faster than 0.05 of a second, even 0.04 of a second, and it is adjudged to be too fast for human reactions, meaning you anticipated the light. Or, as we would say in motorsport, a jump start. Or indeed in athletics, or they say full start, don't they? We don't say full start with cars, we say jump start. 8th best speed into the Kreisel and pretty wavy. Gaps gonna grow, 1800s. 14th best speed. What's the gap going to look like at the line? 4100s. That's a tall ask. And the closer you get to the end of the competition, the closer you get to the top of the World Cup rankings sliders, the less variety there will be, the less or the fewer random runs you're likely to see. And the more polished performers they are. That does pile a bit of pressure on Yin Cheng, but Yin was the winner here in February in the men's race, one of 3 straight World Cup victories to round out his season and to leave him 3rd in the overall World Cup rankings, by the way. Again, very short hold. 0.17 reaction time, much more like what everybody else has been doing. 0.17, 0.19 seems to be about on par for a pretty quick start. So a first leg deficit he's got to unwind and then try and build in a bit more advantage. Well, that deficit is not unwinding. Third best speed onto the Kreisel, but a big skid going on. You heard it as much as you saw it. 6th best speed, 3/4 of a second behind the USA. This is not going to be a 59-second run, so the USA will hold on to the lead, and China are second at the line, 9600s back.
I don't know what to do.
So the USA took the lead from Italy, who'd taken the lead from the Czech Republic, who took the lead from Austria, Switzerland. But the USA hang on as the first of our Chinese teams drops. That's part of the reason why Liu Shi way up in the frost in the Kreisel. And Yin Cheng, well, his speed had gone by that stage. There's Yin on the left, Li on the right. So Valentina Margalio, World Championship bronze medalist on this track back in 2020. with Mattia Gaspari. She is sliding this evening with Amedeo Banyas. They finished 7th here in the February race, Valentina and Amedeo, and 6th in the World Championships. But they together took gold in the World Cup race in St. Moritz. What a long hold for the green. 0.28 reaction time. Not surprised. It's time to have a snooze and make a cup of tea between reds going off and the green coming on. So she has been a World Cup gold medalist in the doubles in St. Moritz last season. This, in fact, is only the 3rd World Cup mixed team race. Italy won one, Germany won the other. Suzanne Freya and Axel Jung, the winners here in February in Altenberg. And all 4 previous World Championships won by assorted German combinations. Whoa, big skid. She's having about as disappointing a run as she did in the women's race. She did crash out of 5, which she has done on a couple of occasions in the past, but a 62.40 for Valentina Margallo.
2 Minuten 08,86, 2:08.86 is the total time.
So that is only the 4th fastest run by one of the female athletes so far. Amedeo Banyas with the Ironman helmet. Let's see what he can produce. He had a good start and rallied in the 2nd heat of the men's competition. But he's going to have to go exceptionally well here. Look at that, 8 tenths back on the USA. So he's got to be a second quicker than Austin Florian, or getting on for. And he didn't have that speed at all, or anything close to it, in the men's race a few hours ago. Not a bad exit from corner 9, down the straight into the Kreisel, but where's the speed? Only the 10th best speed. They are the 10th team. 4th best out at Kreisel, so he made up some speed, found some speed in the Kreisel with good smooth lines, but 1.5 seconds back. Valentina at the top, the US team at the bottom, 1.5 seconds. See, the problem with being good and staying in the leader's box is you then have to find a way to celebrate differently with your teammate after every run. 60.68 for Amedeo Banyas. So a second slower than Austin Florian just on his run. Has not been a good start to the season for the Italians. Just hasn't. So they don't even drop into 2nd. They drop into 3rd behind China. China team 2. And that's it for the Altenberg weekend for those two. Next up is Hannah Neisser of Germany. Now, she was originally down to go last with Christopher Grotheer, but has been swapped in alongside Axel Jung. Germany 2 was going to be Jacqueline Pfeiffer and Felix Kaisinger. So they're not in. The Germans, I think, probably have changed their teams around the last minute to reflect the relative performances of today rather than earlier in the season. That makes sense, doesn't it? 1600ths of a second, good reaction time from our women's skeleton Olympic champion. Neisser, the world champion in teams competition with Christopher Grotheer, because, of course, Grotheer won it again. He's now got 3 individual World Championship golds and 2 team golds. Only the 7th best speed. And this is her versus Sarah Roderick, don't forget. This is a German slider on a German track, only the 8th best speed. I think the track is frosting up a bit. This is good news for the USA because they've gone. She's 4 tenths back. Who's stolen Hannah Nice's costume? Across the line, 3 tenths back, 102.22. Well, Sarah Roderick, 102.92. And there is snow starting to fall. Axel Jung has been a bit of a talisman for the German team. He's in various teams competitions, particularly the ones where we have men and women's bobsleigh. He came out with a lot of World Championship gold medals. He was also the winner here in February's race with Suzanne Freya. Reaction time of 1300ths of a second. That's a very good RT. He's got a lot of ground to make up though. And although he was quicker and finished ahead of Austin Florian at the end of the men's race, wasn't by a huge amount. 89 hundredths back. And Austin Florian's got a very quick start, so Axel is going to have to do a lot at the end of this run to bring it back. Best speed onto the Kreisel. At 86 hundredths back. Unless he's halved that, and he's barely touched it, and has contact. Out of 14, clean. Austin Florian on the left at the bottom. I think Hannah Nice sees this as done. It's all over. It is all over. 7 tenths back nearly. 2:02.23 for Germany 2. Hannah Nice and Axel Jung.
The total time of Team Germany.
Well. He wasn't, even if they'd started dead level, he wasn't as quick as Austin Florian. 60.01, Austin a 59.64. So the USA lead from Germany 2 and China 2. We have 4 teams still to go. So we are getting close to the medals. After this, we will have 3 teams left. So whoever leads after these 2 runs for China 1 might have a medal shout. China have never taken a team's medal, not in the current format. The USA have. Austin Florian was on the bronze medal team here in February with Katie Uhlender. Decent reaction from Zhao Dan, our winner in Beijing. Didn't have as good a race here. Now they are seeded not on how they performed on this ice, but how they rank in the overall World Cup standings. .15 reaction time for Zhao Dan, very good. Apart from Li Yuqi, her teammate, who was within a hair's breadth of a penalty, is about the fastest female slider reaction time we've seen. Only the 10th best speed into the Kreisel. 1800s back. How close is she going to be to Sarah Roderick? Because the teammate Chen Wen-hao is going to need an advantage, I'm saying, over Austin Florian. How close? A 10th back. I don't think that is enough. Chen did not finish ahead of Austin Florian. I think that the USA may well be our leaders after this. So Chen Wen-hao, let's see what he's got. in the second of the two heats today in the men's race. He was just 0.04 of a second quicker, but has he jumped the start? Early start under review. Now they will go and look at the B timing and see whether it was faster than 0.05 of a second. And if it was, the penalties are punitive. 3 to go after this. And it's kind of irrelevant for the lead, but it will affect where everybody else finishes. 0.45 back, 0.4 back. Tap dancing a little. And they are going to be how far behind at the line? 5500s, 2:02.11. And I'm hearing that that was a full start. So early start confirmed. He got away in 0.04 of a second after the green light, which is judged as physically impossible, which means he went before the green sounded. Now, he probably has no idea about that. It's not like he sort of went and then went, oh, no, it hasn't gone green, and then went again. So the reds go off, and he's moving there. And it's not him moving off the block, it's the sled moving. And that's really hard, because the instinct sometimes is to lead with the sled before you push off. And that's where we are. So USA lead with 3 to go. GB1, GB2, Germany 1. So for GB1, Tabby Stoker and Marcus Wyatt. First team race for Tabby Stoker. And the reaction time, 0.20, so very much on the safe side. And you can imagine that, because the last thing you want to do is get excluded in your first team race. It's her first World Cup team race, but Tabs and Matt Weston took the silver medal in the World Championships in the teams competition in Winterberg. She is still looking for her first medal this season. She's shown so much good pace. 200s up over Sarah Roderick. 700s up over Sarah Roderick. With Great Britain lead at the end of Marcus Wyatt's run. They are in medals, and the USA will have to wait. 1500s up. She's going to hand a slender lead of, actually, not so slender, 0.3 of a second to Marcus Wyatt.
Marcus Wyatt.
So that is a really strong second half of the run from Tabby Stoker. That's got to be Matt Weston's dad, hasn't it? So Marcus Wyatt now. See, not looking, no visible sign of watching those lights at all, even out of his periphery, just waiting. 1800s, that's a decent RT. So second best velocity. Whoop. 4 to 5, just kept it clean. Building the advantage, trying to keep Team GB in the medals. 3/10 up, long steer to get the line for the Kreisel. Third best speed going on. 8th best speed coming off. There was a lot of steering work going on. 3/10, what's the gap now? 2600s. Tabs is going, come on. Austin Florian, Sarah Roderick, hoping that something goes wrong, that they're in the medals. They're not at the moment. 2:01.19. Team GB will get a medal. Now, Matt Weston and Marcus Wyatt were both on the podium in the men's race this afternoon, behind winner Christopher Grotheer. Marcus Wyatt got a bronze. He has guaranteed himself at least another bronze today. World Championship silver medalist Tabby Stoker, looking at her first World Cup medal of the season. Despite that 4-5 transition for Tabs, that was uncomfortable. Here's Marcus down the straight from turn 9. Just trying to straighten the sled up. Didn't want to come back. 5 and we still did it. Yeah, there you go. Freya Tarbit next up with Craig Thompson. Now, Matt Weston was due to be in the race with her. But for Freya Tarbit, the World Cup points leader after the 3 races in Asia, this is a great opportunity to try and grab another medal. So 1900s behind her teammate at the start. Good reaction down though, 0.15. So that's 500 saved against Tabby Stoker. And if she can come clean out of 4 and not bump so badly off 5, that was close. A little better, but not a great deal better. 3900s behind Tabby Stoker right now. Good exit out of 9. Brings it over nicely for the Kreisel, but only the 18th best speed. This could be a big opportunity for the USA to get in amongst the medals. Half a second back. Freya's not having a great run. Whatever the setup, whatever the runner choice on the sled is, it's not generating great speed across the line. 3/4 of a second back. And that might be too much for Craig Thompson to overcome.
Freya Tarbit.
So a 1:02.36, 7/400s back.
Craig Thompson.
And right now, that would drop them into 3rd with 1 more team to go. So Craig needs to bring that back. He needs to be 4/10 quicker than Austin Florian, basically, to get Team GB2 back ahead of USA.
Ready?
So Great Britain 1 lead, Great Britain 2, a lot to do. 0.20 reaction time for Craig Thompson. Only a couple of hundred slower than Marcus Wyatt, but he's got a second to find over Marcus, who finished on the podium in the men's race. Craig did not have that speed at all today. Ooh, bumps off 5 and skates into 6. Takes a little tap down the straight, and only the 16th best speed. I think this is a medal for the USA. GB1 will lead with 1 to go. And the question is, will GB2 be in medals or not? If they're 3rd now, they have a chance. If they're behind Germany 2, they are out of the running, and they are 9th.
9th place currently for Team Great Britain.
1:01.26 for Craig Thompson. Not a great run for him, and not at all a great run from Freya Tarbit. So Team GB1 are the leaders with 1 to go. And at the moment, it's GB1, USA 1, Germany 2. That's your 1, 2, 3, with 1 team to come. Well, not horrendous errors everywhere, but just too many. And again, corner 5, that was Craig. Freya didn't have the cleanest corner 5 either. Okay, so Suzanne Freya and Christopher Grotheer, the reigning team world champions. They were third here in February. So they tied for third. Katie Uhlaender and Austin Florian. Christopher Grotheer and Hannah Neiser, I beg your pardon, were the world champions. So Suzanne Freya, she was the world champion with Christopher Grotheer in St. in 2023. Reaction time very strong, 1400s, and her slide should be good as well. She's behind Tabby Stoker. She doesn't start as fast as the British slider, but boy, the Germans know this track. 1100s in it. Can have Stoker's speed down at the bottom, but this is a really good run from Suzanne Freya. 700s. It's going to be down to the 100th of a second. This could be a straight battle. 1100s behind. 101.73. Okay, so Christopher Grotheer has to be 1100s quicker than Marcus Wyatt. Actually, he has to be 1200s quicker than Marcus Wyatt if he wants only gold, if he doesn't want to share it. So this pair, Suzanne Freya, Christopher Grotheer, World Championships winners in St. 2023. Suzanne won the race here with Axel Junk in February. So Grotheer for gold. Good start. Reaction time didn't look bad, 0.19. So he's won all 4 men's singles races so far this season. Every time he's started a race, he's come away with the gold. And for continuity purposes, obviously, he would like to do the same here. What's the margin? He should be quicker at the bottom. Is he going to be 3/4 of a second quicker at the bottom? I'm not sure that Marcus Wyatt's run was that bad. 7/10 back, speed onto the Kreisel, but a big moment going on. He's got to land it nicely, but he did give away speed there. Yes, he did. Look at that. Still 3/4 of a second back. If he can bring 3/4 of a second back below the Kreisel, then that will be absolutely big. Marcus Wyatt, Tabby Stoker at the bottom. It could be gold for Great Britain. Here in Altenberg it is. And it is silver for the USA. Germany won. Take the bronze medal. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So the bronze for the Germans. Christopher Grotheer, the news just in, fails to win gold for the first time this season. But he's on the podium with Suzanne Freya. They take the bronze medal here in Altenberg. The USA, Sarah Roderick and Austin Florian take silver, and gold goes to Great Britain's Tabby Stoker and Marcus Wyatt. Good reaction time for Suzanne Freya and a nice run. But there is the big moment when Christopher Grotheer came onto the Kreisel. So he is human. he just slides like a machine. There you go, bronze medalist. Hannah Neiser in the background. There are your gold medalists. First medal of the season for Tabby Stoker, and 4th for Marcus Wyatt. Well, it doesn't matter which pointy finger you hold up, as Sebastian Vettel showed us many, many times in his Formula 1 career. So, congratulations to Team GB1, Tabby Stoker, Marcus Wyatt, as they claim the first mid-team gold medal of the World Cup season. Victory in Altenberg. Tabby Stoker, Matt Weston, the silver medalists in the World Championships. Matt Weston, Laura Dees, also the silver medalists in the Worlds in Samaritz back in 2023. Craig Thompson, Brogan Crowley got the bronze in that race. So this is Marcus's first team medal.
Well done.
So confirmation of the results. GB 1, US 1, Germany 1. Those are the medalists ahead of Germany 2, China 2 and Italy 2. And China won with that jump start penalty, dropping them out of contention. So Czech Republic, medalists here in February in the silver medal position, finishing in 8th, and GB2 in the end dropping down to 10th place. So no start for the Austria 2 team. Janine Flock not able to compete today.
Really close.
So the first team's competition of the season done and dusted. Germany, the USA, and Great Britain on the podium. And that is it for skeleton from Altenberg. Bobsleigh World Cup starts tomorrow. That will be at midday local, 11 GMT, 0600 Eastern, as we get the two-man competition underway. From everybody here, we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Okay, guys, here we go. So congratulations on winning this team event, the first team event of the season. So tell us a little bit about your race. You picked up the pace really well during the second part of your race, Tabitha.
Yeah, because my four was a bit ropey. It's such a really tricky corner, and a lot of people kind of flip off the back. So I was nervous when that happened, but I tried to stay calm and just let the sled run. And I picked up really good speed, which gave me a fast run in the end.
So Marcus, how difficult is it to react on those lights at the start?
I think it's difficult for everyone. It's brand new. Like, we've done a few races, but everyone's still very much like figuring it out. We've done a little bit of practice in the summer, but I think until you get here and you try it for the first time, you don't really. Everyone was watching the first kind of few teams, but like, okay, this is what we're doing. So yeah, it's kind of learning on the job.
So Tabitha, how much fun is this event?
It's really fun. It's nice to share in it with the boys, and our team's really, really close. So it's nice to all compete together for once.
Sure. And it's also very nice to beat the German team, of course, because this season it's Germany versus Great Britain.
Yeah, it seems that way. And obviously this is their home track, so they've got loads more runs than us here. So it's really nice to hold our own and sometimes come out on top.
So, congratulations and enjoy the win.
Thank you very much.